ஓகே. ஸோ இந்த டனல் டயோட் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, ஈவன் உங்களுக்கு எலக்ட்ரானிக் டிவைசஸ்ல கூட இருக்கும். ஓகே. எலக்ட்ரானிக் டிவைசஸ். ஸோ டனல் டயோட் வந்து இட் இஸ் ஹேவிங் மெனி அப்ளிகேஷன். பட் நம்ம பர்ட்டிகுலரா அத மைக்ரோவேவ்லயும் யூஸ் பண்றோம். ஓகே. மைக்ரோவேவ்லயும் யூஸ் பண்றோம். ஸோ டனல் டயோட் இன் மைக்ரோவேவ் used in microwave amplification. Okay, used in microwave amplification. Used in microwave amplification and oscillation. Microwave amplification and oscillation. அதாவது என்ன மீனிங், மைக்ரோவேவ் சிக்னல் உங்ககிட்ட இருந்தால் அதை நீங்கள் ஆம்ப்ளிஃபை பண்ணலாம், இல்லைனா ஏதாவது ஒரு மைக்ரோவேவ் சிக்னலை நீங்கள் ஜென்ரேட் பண்ணலாம். ஆசிலேஷன் மீன்ஸ் வாட், நம்ம வந்து சிக்னலை ஜென்ரேட் பண்ணுறது ஆசிலேஷன். ஓகே. ஆல்ரெடி சம் சிக்னல், ஸ்மால் சிக்னல் இஸ் தேர், அதை ஆம்ப்ளிஃபையும் பண்ணலாம். ஸோ பட் நீங்கள் வந்து ஆம்ப்ளிஃபிகேஷன் இதெல்லாம் வந்து பிஜேடி இதெல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணியிருப்போம். பட் அதெல்லாம் வந்து இங்கே ஒர்க் ஆகாது. மைக்ரோவேவ் இஸ் த வெரி ஹை ஃப்ரீக்வன்சி பிகாஸ் டியூ டு த டிரான்சிட் டைம் எஃபெக்ட். அதனால வந்து அந்த இதெல்லாம் வந்து நம்ம இங்கே வந்து யூஸ் பண்ண முடியாது. ஸோ இங்கே செப்பரேட் டிவைசஸ் தான் யூஸ் பண்ணுறோம். ஸோ இப்போ டனல் டயோட் மெயின் அப்ளிகேஷன் இஸ் used in microwave amplification and oscillation, and tunnel diode is also used in binary memory. Okay, used in binary memory. Okay, ஏன் வந்து இது பைனரி மெமரியில் யூஸ் பண்ணுறோம் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, இட் இஸ் ஹேவிங் ட்ரிபிள் கியூ பாயிண்ட். ஓகே. ஜென்ரலாக வந்து ஒரு சர்க்கியூட்னாலே ஒரு கியூ பாயிண்ட் தான் இருக்கும், ஆர்டினரி சர்க்கியூட். பட் டனல் டயோட் இஸ் ஹேவிங் ட்ரிபிள் கியூ பாயிண்ட். அதனால வந்து அதாவது நீங்கள் அந்த கேரக்டரிஸ்டிக் கொஞ்சம் யோசிச்சு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா தெரியும். It will go like this, it will go like this, and it increase like this. Okay, say this is the voltage and this is the current. Okay, and this is the peak current. Okay, this is the peak voltage and this is the valley voltage, and this is the peak current and this is the valley current. So இங்க வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு more than one cube point இருக்கும். That's why it is used in binary. Okay, binary memory. It's used in binary memory, MEMORY memory, because it is having triple cube point. And then what is the main usage, main objective of the tunnel diode? Because when you use the tunnel diode in a negative resistance mode, this, okay, once if you operate at this range, okay, then your voltage is increasing but the current is decreasing. Once if the voltage increases, say if your voltage increases, then current decreases, because in general, if the voltage increases, current has to increase as per Ohm's law, but it is something against the Ohm's law. That means if the voltage increases, then the current decreases, means it is something equal to the negative resistance. It's something equal to negative resistance, something equal to negative resistance. Okay, that means it's providing, it can provide negative resistance. Okay, very important. It can provide negative resistance. Negative resistance. Okay, then what is the equivalent circuits of tunnel diode when it is providing the negative resistance? Okay, the equivalent circuits of tunnel diode when it is used as a oscillator, that means negative resistance mode, RS, LS, C and minus RN. Simply you remember that structure, that's enough. Then which material is used to make tunnel diode? There are many materials like silicon, gallium arsenide, gallium phosphate, germanium, like that. There are many materials available. Then which material we are mostly using practically? The practically used material is gallium arsenide. Okay, practically gallium arsenide is used to fabricate the tunnel diode. To construct the tunnel diode, we are using gallium arsenide. Why we are using gallium arsenide? Because used to make tunnel diode, because why it is used, the dynamic range of this one IP divided by IV is large. Okay, the dynamic range of IP divided by IV is large. It is something around 12. Okay, the ratio of IP with IV is around 12. For other materials, you will have the less ratio. Okay, this is having very high ratio between the peak current and valley current. Okay, between the peak current and valley current. That's why gallium arsenide is used to make the tunnel diode, because our main aim is to be in a negative resistance region. So when this range is high, then particularly we would be choosing that material. Okay, so that it can provide larger swing, so that once if this is high, so that it can provide larger swing, because what is the swing of the signal that you are generating? Okay, fine. In case of oscillation, you are generating some signal, then what is the swing? Okay, so that it can provide larger swing. Okay, these are all the important point about the tunnel diode. Only exam point of view I'm discussing. Okay, I'm not going in detail. Next one is microwave field effect transistor. Microwave field effect transistor. Microwave field effect transistor. For this transistor, the noise figure is low. Noise figure is low. Again, you know, communication point of view, what is noise figure? For good device, it has to be low or high. Okay, so noise figure is low, and it is operated in X band. Operated in X band. Somebody tell me what is X band? Operated in X band. Huh? What is the X band value? Yesterday I have given. Input impedance is high. Input impedance is high. Okay, and again, mainly which material we are using? Okay, mainly gallium arsenide used. Mainly gallium arsenide used. Why gallium arsenide is used? Because it has higher electron mobility as compared to other elements. It has higher electron mobility. Because once if you have higher electron mobility, you can operate with lesser operating voltage. That's why we are using gallium arsenide to make the microwave field effect transistor. Okay, microwave field effect transistor. Next one is TED, transferred electron devices. Next one is TED, transferred.
Sir, expand that.
சொல்லுங்க சார்.
Sir, expand.
சொல்லுங்க என்ன வேல்யூ? X band வேல்யூ என்ன சார்? கிகாஹெர்ட்ஸ். புரியல சார். X band நான் சொல்லவே இல்லைங்களா நேத்து?
இல்ல சார்.
சரியா கேட்கல சார். என்ன சொல்ல வரீங்க?
அதான் நேத்து நீங்க சொல்லல சார், அதான் கேக்குறேன்.
இல்ல ஆல்ரெடி பேண்ட்லாம் எழுதி போட்டுருந்தேன் பாருங்க, ஏதோ ஒரு கிளாஸ்ல LSC X KU K ஆல்ரெடி எழுதி போட்டிருந்தேன் சார். நேத்தா அதுக்கு முன்னாடி எனக்கு தெரியல. இன் சம் கிளாஸ் இட் இஸ் அவைலபிள், செக் பண்ணுங்க. ஓகே,
8 to 12 GHz.
புரியல மேடம், என்ன சொல்றீங்க?
8 to 12.
ஓகே ஓகே, அதான் எழுதிட்டேன். அதான் ஓகே ஓகே. next one is transferred electron devices. Next one is transferred electron devices. Okay, simply called as TED devices, transferred electron devices. Example is gun diode. Okay, generally these devices are used to provide negative resistance. These device used to provide negative resistance. And again, this device is like a bulk device. Okay, when some disturbance is there, please one more minute. I'm making. Okay, these devices are generally used to provide the negative resistance. Okay, to provide the negative resistance. And this device is called as a bulk device. Bulk device means it will not have any junction nature, PN junction nature. It is like a single device. Okay, this device is called a bulk device. Okay, bulk device, and it has no junction. Okay, it has no junction. Okay, this is the basics of any TED device. Okay, then One by one we'll see. The first TED device is GUN diode. Okay, GUN diode. GUN diode. And mainly GUN diode. Again, the material used to make the GUN diode is gallium arsenide. And again, you know, the operation of this is to provide the negative resistance. Okay, material used to make the GUN diode is gallium arsenide. Okay, material used gallium arsenide. Okay, gallium arsenide. Next, avalanche transit time device. Next one is avalanche transit time device. Avalanche transit time device. Okay, again in the name le vandu pathina avalanche breakdown. So avalanche in the name irukku. That means what? It works on the principle of avalanche breakdown. Works on the principle of avalanche breakdown. So whenever breakdown is there, then definitely there will be a lot of conduction. Okay, works on the principle of conduction due to breakdown. Works on the principle of conduction. So on the principle of conduction due to breakdown. Okay, generally there are two types of breakdown, but this is due to the breakdown due to the avalanche. Okay, avalanche nature. Okay, now the again whenever you are making avalanche breakdown, then what kind of process is happening? Okay, there are two kind of processes like impact ionization and field ionization. In general, the avalanche breakdown is due to the impact ionization. That means collision of one carrier with another carrier. That is the avalanche multiplication, avalanche process. So it uses carrier impact ionization. It uses carrier impact ionization. Okay, ionization and the carrier drift in the I electric field, drift in I field region of semiconductor to produce negative resistance. Okay. Again, the example of avalanche transit time device is like impact diode, trapper diode, impact trapper, Barrett diode. Again, the trapper diode is having high noise figure, and this Barrett diode is having narrow bandwidth. Okay, narrow bandwidth. Next one is parametric amplifier. Okay, parametric amplifier. Okay, in case of parametric amplifier, you have signal frequency, pump frequency. Sometimes you will get the sum of the signal frequency and pump frequency. Sometimes the difference between the pump and signal frequency. So generally, if you want to up parametric amplifier, up conversion, for up conversion, the frequency of the output is equal to Fs plus Fe. For down conversion, Fi is equal to Fp minus Fs. Okay, where Fs is signal frequency. Okay, where Fs is signal frequency, Fp means pump frequency. Okay, pump frequency. Okay, next we'll see the linear beam devices. Okay, microwave linear beam devices, and then later we'll see magnetron cross field tubes. Okay, cross field tubes. Okay. Okay, so first one is microwave linear linear beam tubes, okay, or O type, okay, that is O type. Okay, that means linear means here in this case the electric field and magnetic field will be in the same direction. Both the electric field and magnetic field will be in same direction, or it will be on the same line. Okay, or it will be on the same line. That is the meaning of linear. Okay, linear beam tube. Okay, that is the linear beam tube. That means what? Magnetic field coincide with the electron beam direction. Okay, so magnetic field coincide with electron beam direction. Okay, அதாவது அந்த particular devicesல நீங்க யூஸ் பண்ற எலக்ட்ரிக் ஃபீல்டும் மேக்னெட்டிக் ஃபீல்டும் will be in the same direction. ஏன்னா எலக்ட்ரிக் ஃபீல்ட் எதை மென்ஷன் பண்ணும், எலக்ட்ரானோட டைரக்ஷன் மென்ஷன் பண்ணும். அது மேபி சேம் டைரக்ஷனா இருக்கலாம், ஆப்போசிட் இருக்கலாம், தட்ஸ் ஓகே, பட் ஆன் த சேம் லைன். ஓகே, அதுதான் வந்து ஐடியா. இதுல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த லீனியர் பீம் டைப்ல கேவிட்டி 2 கேவிட்டி கிளஸ்ட்ரான் இருக்கு, சிங்கிள் கேவிட்டி கிளஸ்ட்ரான் இருக்கு, traveling wave tube இருக்கு. ஓகே, அகைன் மல்டி கேவிட்டி கிளஸ்ட்ரான் இஸ் ஆல்சோ தேர். ஓகே, ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒன் இஸ் 2 கேவிட்டி கிளஸ்ட்ரான். 2 cavity clustron. Generally, the 2 cavity clustron is used for microwave amplifier. Okay, used as a microwave amplifier. Then what is the principle? Under what principle this device is working? 2 cavity clustron. Okay, the principle of operation is velocity and current modulation. The principle of operation is velocity or current modulation. Okay, velocity or current modulation. Okay, then what is the efficiency? Next one is what is the efficiency? Efficiency is around 40%. Then gain of this device is equal to around 30 dB. 30 dB means what? Roughly 1000 times. Okay, because it is used as an amplifier, it is having some gain. It's 30 dB means, okay, gain means power gain. So the power gain is 30 dB means what? Roughly 1000 times. Okay, next, average power output is 500 kilowatt. Pulse power output. Pulse means single pulse. Okay, if you want to amplify a single pulse, then you may get power output up to 30 megawatt. Okay, up to 30 megawatt. Okay, so again, these are all the amplifier that is used for satellite communication also. Say in satellite we are having some amplifier. Okay, so there now we are using this kind of amplifier only, like clustron amplifier only we are using in case of satellite, because satellite is working in microwave. Okay, satellite is working in microwave, there we are using this kind of amplifier. Okay, the next one is reflex clustron. Okay, so you can make that note where it is used in general. This amplifier and all used in satellite. Okay, used in satellite. Please check it where this amplifier and all used. Okay, next one is reflex clustron. Okay, and again this is like a single cavity clustron. Reflex clustron is a single cavity clustron. It is used as an oscillator. Please note down, this is very, very important. It is used as an oscillator. In the exam they will ask, sir, which device is used as an oscillator? Reflex clustron is used as an oscillator. Okay, then then it can produce some signal. Oscillator means what? It will produce some signal. Then what is the power of that signal? What is the power of the signal? So it can produce the signal up to 500 milliwatt. Power is up to 500 milliwatt. So low power generator from 10 to 500 milliwatt, 10 to 500 milliwatt. What is the efficiency? Okay, efficiency is 20 to 30%. Efficiency is 20 to 30%. So next one is traveling wave tube. Next one is traveling wave tube. Okay, traveling wave tube. So what it is doing, suppose traveling wave tube is like it is like an amplifier. Okay, it is actually an amplifier. Traveling wave tube is a amplifier. Suppose if you are having 1 microwatt signal, it will make one as a 1 watt signal power. That means what? It is giving the gain around 10 power 6. It is giving the gain around 10 power 6. Then where we are using this traveling wave tube in case of satellite. Okay, used in satellite for application purpose, used in satellite, very important. Okay, so then it is an amplifier. Okay, actually the traveling wave tube TWT is an amplifier, okay, it is an amplifier, and it consists of helical slow wave structure. Okay, it consists of helical slow wave structure. In the exam they will ask this, sir, which device consists of slow wave structure? Okay, they will give many options. Which device consists of helical slow wave structure? Traveling wave tube. Okay, traveling wave tube. What is the frequency of operation? Okay, what is the frequency of operation? Okay, frequency of operation 3 gigahertz, from 3 gigahertz and a higher frequency, What is the bandwidth? Because whenever you are using some amplifier, over what bandwidth it will work satisfactorily, because you will be operating at some center frequency. Around that center frequency, how much frequency it will allow, that is the bandwidth. Okay, so the bandwidth is 0.8 gigahertz. Then efficiency, okay, efficiency is around 20 to 40%. Efficiency is around 20 to 40%. Okay, then power, average power is equal to 10 kilowatt. Okay, this is like average power is kilowatt. Then finally, what is the power gain? Okay, power gain, in the beginning itself I have mentioned 1 microwatt, it converted into 1 watt. That means 60 dB. Because this traveling wave tube is in generally amplifier, then it will provide very high gain. That's why in the exam you'll get this question. What is the power gain of the traveling wave tube? Okay, traveling wave amplifier, that is 60 dB. So next one is microwave cross field tube. Okay, microwave cross field tube. Okay, the other name for this one is M-type devices. Then here in this case, the magnetic field and electric field is perpendicular to each other. Okay, so DC magnetic field and electric field is perpendicular to each other. Okay, that's main point for microwave cross field tubes. Okay, then under this category we'll get a cylindrical magnetron. Okay, cylindrical magnetron. Okay, cylindrical magnetron. Again, in the cylindrical magnetron, you will get questions like this. What is the time period of the oscillation? time period of the oscillation, that is t is equal to 2 pi m divided by q b naught. And there are many mode to operate, but in general this is operated in pi mode, Okay, in general this is operated in pi mode. This is very important. The exam they will ask at what mode the cylindrical magnetron is operated. This is operated at pi mode. And this cylindrical magnetron is like an oscillator. Okay, it's like a oscillator. Okay, next we'll see about the microwave measurements. Okay, microwave measurement. Okay, in general, first of all, how to measure the power of the microwave. Okay, the power may be high or low. So if the microwave is having high power, okay, how to measure high power. Suppose if I want to measure high power means microwave power, then what is the technique used? Okay, to measure the high power, we are using directional coupler. We are using directional coupler with bolometer. Okay, with bolometer. Now, actually, you don't know what is the directional coupler because we should have covered this, but not yet covered. But I will simply tell you what is directional coupler. See, the nature of the directional coupler is something like this. Say, if this is the port 1, okay, if you are supplying some power here, say for example, some 10 watt power, then almost you will get 9.9 watt here. Some part of the power will be coupled here, 0.1 watt. Are you getting this idea? See, you are having some power. This is the coupler nature. If you are giving input at this port, almost most of the power will go in the same path. Some power will go in this path. Okay, in this path. That means what? You are tapping. Okay, this is like a main line. You are tapping that line. Then after tapping, what I can do, because how much power is coming here, it depends on how much power is coming here. It depends on the coefficient, coupling coefficient of the directional coupler. The amount of power here depends on coupling coefficient of directional coupler. Okay, directional coupler. Okay, simply what I can say, suppose if this is port 1, this is port 2, for example, I am assuming this is port 3 and this is port 4, then how can I calculate the coupling coefficient? How much power has come here? See, it's simply the relation between these two. Okay, how much power has come here? Okay, so I can make a relation between these two in terms of S parameter. Okay, either S14 or S41 will give you the coupling coefficient, how much power is coming here. Okay, so then what I can do, I am having some power here. Now I will put one instrument here, one measurement instrument here. Then it will give the power on this line. Then once my power is 0.1 watt, I already know what is the coupling coefficient of the device. Then what is the input power I can measure? Then why? Because whatever the measurement instrument that I am using, that will not measure the high power, but it will measure the low power. It can measure the low power. This instrument that I am measuring will measure only low power, because I am using bolometer here that can measure the low power. But with the help of that readings, I can know what is the maximum power, what is the full power. Okay, that means what? Indirectly I am measuring the high power. Directly I am not measuring. Indirectly I am measuring the high power. So once if you want to measure high power, you have to use directional coupler with bolometer. Okay, if the power is low already, okay, if the power is low already, to measure low power, then without directional coupler you can use what? For low power you can directly use bolometer. So to measure low power we can use bolometer. To measure high power you have to use bolometer along with the directional coupler. Okay, so the next one is VSWR measurement. Okay, so for example, if this is the transmission line, if this is the transmission line and the load is here, and this VSWR measurement and all, the picture comes whenever there is no when there is no match between the load impedance and characteristic impedance. If these two not matching, then you will form a standing wave. Then the standing wave can be something like this. Okay, it goes something like this. Now what happens, this is like a transmission line. When I move on the transmission line, I may get minimum value, I may get the maximum value, again minimum, maximum, like that, it keeps on going. So what I have to do, I have to move on this line really, then I have to find out what is the maximum voltage, what is the minimum voltage. Once if I know these two quantity, I can measure the VSWR, because VSWR is equal to what is the maximum voltage on the line, what is the minimum voltage on the line. This is the basic definition. Then you can know what is the VSWR. Now you know what is VSWR, you know what is S. Once if you know S, you can calculate K. You can calculate K, because K is equal to what? S minus 1 divided by S plus 1, you know K. Okay, so that means with the help of VSWR measurement, you can calculate both VSWR as well as the reflection coefficient, Okay, then what else I can do? What else I can measure? I can also measure